All right, let me go further and advise that this temporary hearing is being conducted by remote video teleconferencing technology. We are using the Zoom protocol to do so. This proceeding is also being live streamed on the court's YouTube channel, both of which are occurring because we are complying and attempting to comply with the Texas Supreme Court's orders and Office of Court Administration directives that we do so. As a result, I further advise that all parties, anyone is prohibited from recording this proceeding or any portion of it by any manner whatsoever, electronic or otherwise, except for the official court reporter of the court who is transcribing and recording this hearing as he would do in an in-person hearing in court. With those pronouncements and the further pronouncement that the court has been advised by the attorneys that agreements regarding temporary matters have been entered into between the parties, and they desire to present those agreements for the court's approval. With those understandings, I call the case. Mrs. Fuller, on behalf of petitioners, are you ready to proceed?
We are, Your Honor, or I am.
Well, is that your client's present with you as well?
Yes, sir. The gentleman in the middle.
All right. And Mr. Maxwell, on behalf of respondent and cross petitioner, are you and your client ready to proceed?
We are ready to proceed, Your Honor.
All right. And who's going to state the agreement?
Judge, I'll be happy to. The parties, there were basically two issues, Your Honor. One was access to the marital home for Miss Escobedo to basically take a look and see what's in there and what interest she had in the items that were in there. And the second issue, Your Honor, dealt with a rental property the parties have. And the parties have agreed to the following. Miss Escobedo and her son Lee will go to the home tomorrow night at 5:30 p.m., where they'll be met by Miss Holman, who is a representative of Mr. Escobedo at the home. She will be allowed to remove certain items in the home, those being all of her framed pictures, especially of her grandpa and grandma. The only caveat to that, Your Honor, is they're not sure what other framed pictures she's talking about, but there will be a means for Ms. Holman to access or communicate with Mr. Escobedo and see if there's a problem with whatever framed pictures she takes or wants to take. 2 Bronco Tiffany lamps, jewelry box with all of her jewelry, food processor, Miss Escobedo's collection of old people figurines, her stereo and all her tapes, all the clothes that were in the drawers under her bed, her key fob for her car. Mr. Escobedo says he doesn't have the key fob, but that he will, if it's there, he will look for it. And then I will communicate if we have any idea where it's at, we being Miss Escobedo. And then a small vase with flowers made of tissue. It was a gift from Miss Escobedo's granddaughter. And then Miss Escobedo will have the opportunity while she's in the house, if there are other items that she might like, she will communicate that to Miss Holman, who will in turn communicate it to Mr. Escobedo. If he has a problem with it, then they'll just simply take pictures of the items to deal with on final division, Your Honor. In addition, Miss Escobedo, Mr. Escobedo has a wedding band, gold ring, necklace, and cross that Miss Escobedo will produce for him tomorrow at that same time and give it to Miss Holman. And then with regard to the rental property, Your Honor, the rental property has a rent coming in of $800 a month. The parties are going to take, Mr. Escobedo is going to take out $125 for tax, $125 for insurance, which will leave a balance of $550. The parties will split that $275 apiece. Mr. Escobedo will pay Ms. Escobedo by the 3rd of each month by sending a check to her P.O. Box 426, Snyder, Texas 79550. And of course, if the tenant fails to pay rent for a month, then that will certainly complicate the issue of splitting the rent. But so far, I think the tenant has been fairly regular in paying. And I believe that's the sum and substance of the parties' agreement on these two issues, Your Honor.
Kenny, the stimulus,
Oh, yes, I forgot. There's a $1,200 stimulus check that's been received by Mr. Escobedo. He will be, he has that check in his possession. He'll give it to Ms. Holman. Rhonda Escobedo, when she goes over there tomorrow night, will endorse that stimulus check. Mr. Escobedo will have given Ms. Holman a check for $600. Upon Ms. Escobedo's endorsement of that check, the stimulus check, she'll hand it back to Ms. Holman, and Ms. Holman will in turn give her a check for $600 drawn off Mr. Escobedo's account for her half of the stimulus check. Now, I think that's the sum and substance of the parties' agreement, Your Honor. And then, Your Honor, we will continue. We had this in a Rule 11, but we will continue. There's a mutual restraining order. You don't have a problem with that, do you, Jeannie?
whoop, I don't have a problem with the things that are in the prior continuing.
Yeah.
That's my understanding.
That we'll do, in this temporary order, we'll have a mutual restraining order to continue. And then we'll be asking for a final hearing pretty soon, Your Honor. Parties have just exchanged discovery.
Anything further, Mrs. Fuller?
No, Your Honor, that is the agreement.
All right. I approve the agreements that the parties have reached and stated here on the record. I'll sign an order that reflects same. And we will be in recess. I need to talk to, or I would like to talk to each of you attorneys on matters totally unrelated to this case. When would be a good time in your schedules to do that? Mr. Maxwell, you're going to be back on a hearing a little later this morning. Would that, at the end of that hearing, would that work for you?
That would be fine. Or at the end of this hearing, do you need to talk to both Jeannie and I at the same time?
No, totally different matters, totally
Okay.
unrelated to this or anything that I know of that the two of you are both involved in.
Yeah, no, that'd be fine, Your Honor. When I can either do it now or after the next hearing.
Well, I can do it now. Since we're in recess, oh, my coordinator is messaging me. Okay, I'm trying to get, Kayla is trying to get Jeannie in the other matter with another lawyer at 11:30. So if you have time now, I can spend a moment. Let me,
If you would excuse my client, Your Honor.
okay.
And
And
Rhonda,
Mrs.
if you'll wait in the front office, I'll be there in just a moment, okay?
Thank you, sir.
And Mrs. Fuller, I'll excuse you also. Thank you.
I thought you wanted to visit with me. Sorry.
Not with Kenny. It's totally unrelated to anything that you and Kenny have involvement with that I'm aware of anyway. So I'll talk to you later. Kenny, I wanted to visit with you about I'm a little hesitant to do this without Aubra because I want to ask about Aubra. she sent us a letter yesterday asking that she be removed from our appointment list in CPS cases. And I was just wondering if it has something to do with the CPS attorney and the displeasure that a lot of the ad litems have with that attorney, or if it's something else. It's leaving us as the court in a bind. We just don't have enough attorneys out here at all. I've got one particular case where I need every attorney and a couple of more because of all of the inner conflicts, legal conflicts. They've represented somebody else who's involved in the case, therefore they can't be involved in the case, that sort of thing.
Who is the, I'll say, first of all, Your Honor, I don't know her reasoning for that. I would have to ask her because I don't know. I was busy all day yesterday in hearings, so is this, I'm trying to think, CPS attorney, is that Ms. Rankin? Yes,
Christine Rankin.
Yeah.
She didn't allude to that in her letter. I will talk with Aubra directly. But if there was something else, and especially if it was related to me or this court, I kind of wanted to have a heads up. I don't think it is at all.
I don't either. I don't think that would be it at all. She may want to be paid about 1,000 appearance, but
I understand that.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. My guess would be what your assumption is.
Well, I will try to visit with her directly. It was not my intention to go behind her back, but I've had a practicing relationship with you for a lot longer. And if there was something that suggested I needed to take some other action or be especially careful about how I approached the conversation with her, I wanted to know that.
No, I honestly don't believe it has anything to do with the court.
Okay.
I don't know that, but
I understand.
I mean, just our conversations, I've never heard that issue.
Okay. Well, I don't think there has been. I don't think she and I have had any, let me say, conflict. All attorneys at some point in time don't like a ruling. And that may even be true of Aubra, but I don't know of one in particular that might have resulted in enough displeasure to say, I don't want to appear in your court anymore, or be appointed. She didn't say she didn't want to appear in the court anymore. I'm guessing it has to do with the CPS mess. And it's hard for me to go to CPS supervisors if I don't have anything that I'm specifically informed of. If I'm not even told I can't deal with this person, then I have no basis to go to the supervising attorney. So I just thought I would see if you were aware of anything, and if not, and I appreciate that, I will talk with Aubra, and I will ask her to be and I don't have any reason to think she wouldn't be anything except candid with me. I certainly am not upset with her. I appreciate her and her abilities, and really need some attorneys with integrity, with competence, diligence, all the good things that she and most of the ones that I have the pleasure to deal with here present to us. And to have to do without good lawyers means I have to deal with lawyers who are not good. And that doesn't help the system. It doesn't help the court.
Well,
so
I would think,
that's,
Judge, I would think if it were an issue with the court, she wouldn't be taking any cases over there.
well, that's the deal, though. She says she doesn't want to take the cases anymore.
No, she's talking about CPS cases, correct?
That's true. That's true. Absolutely.
What I'm saying is, I know she's got family law cases over there.
Yes.
And is continuing to take cases over there. So, I mean, I don't think that would be the issue if she was, I mean, if that were the issue, I think she would, you know, talk to me about, hey, can you handle these cases for me?
Yeah, I understand.
But I don't think that's the issue.
Okay. Well, I don't think it is either. But I don't want to be blind to something that I should be seeing. As I say, I will talk. I will talk with Aubra, and I have appreciated her practice in our court. Continue to appreciate her practice in our court. I'm going to try to talk her out of not taking CPS cases, but I can't do the $1,000 of appearance. We don't have any money.
That was not something she suggested, Your Honor. That was something I suggested.
I understand. I do understand. Okay. Well, thank you for spending a few minutes with me, and I'll see you back in just a little bit with Ruiz.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.